Hello and welcome everyone. I am Sanjeev Kumar Singh, USN 1BM18CS093. Social media is a great platform to share awareness to large masses. So here I am with my video with an important social message for you all, that is save environment, save earth. All the physical surrounding on earth are called the environment. Environment includes everything living and non-living. The non-living part of environment has three main parts: the atmosphere, the hydrosphere and the lithosphere. People, animal, plants and all other living beings rely on the non-living parts of the environment to survive. Due to our limitless and craving for better and more comfortable life, we have exploited our environment to such an extent there is sufficiency in the world for man's need, but not for their greed. We have even destroyed the habitats of many animals. Many animals and birds are already extinct and some are at the verge of it. We are causing pollution, not just air, not just water, but also land, killing millions of living organisms just because of what? What else are we left with the environment to destroy for our good? Every year the glaciers are melting because of global warming. There are many pollution we are generating. Air pollution. Air pollution is caused by the release of particulate matters, biological molecules or harmful gases in the atmosphere, which can even cause death to human beings and damage to living organisms and food crops as well. Air pollutants are usually classified in suspended particulate matter, dust, fume, mists and smokes, gaseous pollutants like gases and vapor, as well as odors. Water pollution. Water pollution occurs by the contamination of water bodies like lake, river, ocean. Therefore, environment degradation occurs, which causes the pollutants to discharge directly or indirectly into the water bodies. Some 80% of the world's wastewater is dumped, largely untreated, back into the environment, polluting the rivers, lakes and oceans. Less than 1% of the Earth's fresh water and actually accessible to us. Without action, the challenges will only increase by 2050, when the global demand for fresh water is expected to be 1/3 than it is now. Soil pollution. Soil pollution occurs due to the untreated disposal of industrial waste into the soil. It has high toxic contaminants which lead to soil pollution. Industrial wastes have different amount of toxic contents and hazardous chemicals, such that when deposited in soil, they can affect the soil layer strength in the topsoil, thus reducing the soil fertility and biological activity of the soil. In addition to that, the hazardous effect leads to ecological imbalances, thus making troubles in the crop production. Apart from that, it may cause severe health problems for those who are consuming that crop, because soils and crops are contaminated by toxic chemicals and hazardous materials. The beauty of environment is being destroyed by us in front of us, and it's high time what actions we need to take, whether we want a safe and a good earth, a clean one, or just to be happy for a moment we can have a polluted earth. We are destroying our earth, but for what better? If we don't have a fresh air to breathe or a fresh water to drink, we are acting in a wrong way for some good, and in a process we are making the situation worse, not just for ourselves but for other living organisms as well, and mostly for the next generation. A famous quote reads as, "The earth was not inherited from our forefather. It was borrowed from our next generation, our children." Let's take a moment and think about them as well. Every year, people around the world celebrate the World's Environment Day on 5th of June with plans in mind to save Earth and the environment. But sometimes we need to ask ourselves, will we really execute our plans? We need to understand if the quality of air will keep decreasing the way it has been decreasing. Fresh air will become a luxury which will not be available to more than 90% of the living organisms and in the coming generations as well. Every individual, knowingly or unknowingly, is polluting the environment. And so it is responsibility and duty of everyone, every responsible citizen, to keep the environment clean and green. We just can't be dependent on the government to take actions or to make new rules. It should be the responsibility of every citizen to act wisely on their level to save the environment. Whether the effort is big or small, it hardly matters. What really matters is we need to put the effort, because it's better than putting no effort. Single person can't change the world, But what if everyone starts thinking this way? Break this ideology, lead from front, because every single person working together will definitely change it at a rapid pace, and what we need it right now. And I'm sure of it, we can, and we will sooner rather than later, as humankind survival is at more threat if we are late in taking steps at the moment, because we already are. Few steps we can take to improve our environment and make our earth a better place than it was or could be: reduce, reuse, and and recycle, the 3 R's which everyone knows. Cut down on what you throw away. Follow the 3 R's to conserve natural resources and landfill spaces. Volunteer. Volunteer for cleanups in your community. You can get involved in protecting your watershed too. Educate. When you further your own education, you can help understand the importance and value of the natural resources and make others also to learn. Conserve water. The less water you use, the less runoff and wastewater the eventually end up in the ocean. Shop wisely. Buy less plastic and bring a reusable shopping bags at the stores to purchase something. Use long-lasting light bulbs. Energy-efficient light bulbs like LED reduce the greenhouse gas emissions. Also, flip the light off when you leave the room. Don't send chemicals in our waterways. Choose a non-toxic chemicals in the homes and offices. Bike more, drive less. This is a simple ideology which can be implemented by each of us. Plant a tree. This is really very important. Tree provides us food and oxygen. They help save energy, clean the air, and help combat climate change, habitat for many animals. In 2018, the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change (IPCC) report suggested an additional 2.5 billion acres, 1 billion hectare of forest in the world could limit global warming to 2.7 degree Fahrenheit, approximately 1.5 degrees Celsius by 2050. That's a lot of tree, but you could plant one or two, right? One young tree can absorb CO2 at a rate of 13 pounds per tree. Large area of forest is being cut for livelihood, paper, medicine, furniture. We cut down just for our unnecessary, greedy stuffs. Just stick on what we actually need. Don't be greedy. Just take what you want, because Earth has sufficient to provide it. A healthy environment helps in growth and nourishment of all the living species. We should go green. We all know that Earth is popularly known the blue planet. Then again, it is only sustainable life where life can exist. Environmental pollution causes global warming, acid rain, and depletion of natural resources. One should never encourage in any such activity that pollutes the environment. Everyone should believe that it is their duty to save plants and trees. Avoid using plastic to protect the environment. Be car conscious. You can improve your gas mileage by 0.6% to 3% just by keeping your tires inflated to the proper pressure. If you can say, stay off the roads 2 days a week or more, you will reduce greenhouse gases emission by an average of 1590 pounds, that is approximately 721 kilograms per year. Walking and biking are obviously a good way. It burns your calories as well and helps you for your cardio exercises. Use LEDs. Compact fluorescent light bulbs. CFLs are great. They can last 10 times longer than incandescent bulbs, and they use at least 2/3 less energy. But even CFLs have some issues of disposal. So it's best to use light emitting diodes, LED bulbs. They emit light in a very narrow band wavelength, so they are super energy efficient. Start replacing your old incandescent bulbs with the LED bulbs now. Give up plastics. The statistics are really shocking. People around the world buy 1 million plastic drinking bottles every minute and use up to 5 trillion single-use plastic bags every year. Humans are really addicted to plastic, and hardly any of it, around 9%, is only recyclable. 8 million tons end up in the ocean every year. Use paper or jute bag is one of the best solution to reduce the use of plastic bags and protect the environment and the innocent animals who unknowingly choke themselves and lead to death. Separate the biodegradable waste and the non-biodegradable waste at the initial point of garbage generation, whether it be companies or the kitchen in our home. Use more renewable resources. Cut down the uses of non-renewable resources. Cleaner fuels like CNG should be promoted and used by most of the people in the vehicles. We need to conserve and protect our environment because Earth is only our habitat we can survive over. We are the first generation to know we are destroying the world, and we could be the last that can do anything about it. Speaking up is one of the most powerful thing you can do, especially if it's the right people. You can talk to the local authorities, the MPs, about what should be done in your localities for a better environment nearby. Since last few decades, around 2 or so, the pollution level has increased drastically, and it's high time we work over it. Thank you.